Hi, it's Dave here, and this is my wife, Kathy.
Hello.
And this is the Cinemile. It's the podcast where we walk home from the movies, but sometimes we sit in the car because it's too cold to walk, and the footpaths are really icy, and we might slip and hurt ourselves.
We might, and we've driven to the cinema. We are now parked outside it, doing a totally normal thing of podcasting in our car before the film.
Everybody does that.
We're going to see Marty Supreme, the movie everyone's been talking about.
Yes, a lot of buzz.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited for this one. It's from a Safdie brother. Which one, Dave? Pop quiz.
It's either Josh or Benny. I think this one's Benny. Josh did the Smashing Machine.
Yeah,
they split up. They're doing their own movies.
Mm-hmm, yeah, interesting.
They don't want to work together.
Really?
Or they chose not. Well, I have no idea.
You're just inventing gossip.
Creating some beef.
Well, they've made separate films, both making a sports film, which is interesting. We've already watched and reviewed The Smashing Machine, so you can go back and listen to that. And now we're going to watch...
on that.
Yeah, we're going to watch Marty Supreme now. Obviously, Timothée Chalamet is winning everything.
Is he?
Yeah.
What did he win?
He won the Critics' Choice. He's just won the Golden Globe.
Did he win a Golden Globe?
Mm-hmm. Oh. We're big fans of him on this podcast, so I expect... great things.
Do you know, I think I wasn't a fan of his until I saw him acting. Do you know, I had some sort of preconception that he was some sort of like pretty boy and he's dating a Kardashian now and all this. Because he's got, I don't know, I'm acknowledging my bias and my preconception, but I loved him in Wonka. You know, he's pretty solid in Dune. He's a very committed young man.
Young man? What are you talking about?
I'm like
he's
twice
like 30.
his age. Is he?
I don't know. He's not young. He's not that young.
Isn't he in his 20s?
He's not like an ingenue.
He's a baby.
He's not like...
He's like two generations down from us.
He's not 2 generations down from us. Anyway, we loved him in Wonka. Like, he blew me away in that film. I thought he was so good.
He was very, very good.
Dune, honestly, I could take or leave, but I think he's very, very good in it. And then obviously he's great in other films like Little Women. I'm really excited to see him in this, and I've kind of even managed to avoid trailers. I've seen a few scenes of him and Gwyneth Paltrow.
All I know is ping pong uncut gems. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, well, that sounds good.
It's the word on the street.
Mm-hmm. Uncut Gems was such a stressful film that I bowed out. I was like, I can't watch this film. It's actually too stressful for me. Dave finished it.
And this is one of the writers of the co-writer of Uncut Gems is working on co-wrote this movie with one of the Safdies.
One of the Safdies, right. Well, we'll be back after watching Marty Supreme. See you in a minute.
See you soon.
Let me ask you something. Do you make money at this little table tennis thing?
Not yet.
Do you have a job?
No. Backhand! Backhand! Forehand!
How do you live?
Well, I live with the confidence if I believe in myself, the money will follow.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
Maybe it should.
There's no turning back.
Everything in my life's falling apart, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Do you need any help? I could help you.
You want to go hustling again?
Put your money where your mouth is.
We'll find you.
176, 177, 178. The mouse is back, baby. Yeah!
Welcome to your life.
Hi, we're back. We've seen Marty Supreme. Of course, we won't spoil the movie until we get to Spoiler Street, as always. We are parked in our car outside the cinema. That's not creepy.
No, not at all. People are walking
just
by
watching
looking at us.
people.
I love that film.
Yeah, that was great. It was a real good ride.
What a blast.
Yeah.
I love sports movies. I wouldn't say it had like...
It's not much of a sports movie.
It doesn't quite fit the beats of a sports movie, but what it does fit the beat of is, I guess, an underdog who's in a lot of very, very, very tough situations that he's to get himself out of. I'm fascinated by the film because, first of all, Timothée Chalamet, unbelievable, like best performance I've ever seen from him.
Excellent.
He's amazing. And I know what you mean about the Kardashian thing, because when I've seen clips of him accepting the awards and he's there like, I want to thank my partner, which is such a strange thing to say anyway, to not name them is just bizarre. And then to have I have such negative associations with the Kardashians that like I struggle to separate that from him. But then I come into this film and he's such a phenomenal actor and he's just so wonderful in this, and like he deserves every accolade he's getting. Like he's like a tour de force, you know what I mean?
Oh, don't say that.
He is though. Like he's just ball of energy through the film. His character is actually very unlikable, and I struggled a lot with the character in terms of just being like quite repulsed by him. But Timothée Chalamet plays him so well that I also was like repulsed and rooting for him at the same time. I think the story just feels so fresh and original and different. I love the setting in the early 50s. Like, there's a lot hanging over it as well, you know, like his character is Jewish and we've kind of got the Holocaust hanging over it. He's in deep poverty. I love to watch a film properly set in the past and like really felt like they committed and they had the budget to genuinely set it in the 50s, which a lot of films just, I think, do a poor job of these days of going back in time. And I love to see Gwyneth Paltrow back and not doing her absolute toxic nonsense that she spends most of her time on the internet doing with Goop. And actually being like a very good actress and
She's
like
very good at
pleasure
this.
to see on screen.
Yeah.
And then the young actress whose name I forget, but who plays Marty's kind of girlfriend, who I've also been really enjoying in I Love LA. Like, she's great and she's really different in Marty Supreme and in I Love LA, so I'm really interested to see what she does in the
Odessa
future.
Azian.
Yeah, she's fabulous. Anyway, I had such a good time with it. Like, it's very funny and very dark as well, and the pace was unreal, and the story just kept going in places that I wasn't at all expecting it to go. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's 2.5 hours long, and it does feel long. But what's so, just like Uncut Gems, it's like it's relentless. Like I don't think there's a minute pause in
Like,
here.
I was like, I'm
Like-
gonna go out and buy a drink, and then I could never leave the film to go out and buy a drink.
Yeah, you're just with him on this absolute, like, most of the movie is set over one night. But even the stuff that isn't, it's just like he's just so fast. He talks fast, he's moving fast, he's thinking fast, he's reacting on his feet, and he's just so consistently determined. It's so interesting because he's a character who you kind of can't help but root for because he's your protagonist.
Exactly.
And there's things you can admire about him, which is the focus, the drive, the determination, the singular goal that he's barreling towards at the expense of everything around him. But then it's the selfish, that is ultimately a selfish act. He betrays everyone. He says his at one point, you know, I want to and need to do this alone. He is shunning everyone around him. He's harming people around him.
Total narcissist.
He's a narcissist. He's kind of awful. He's rude. He's egotistical. He's narcissistic. But so it's confronting, and it's an underdog story. But he's not a good dog. He's a bad dog.
He's a bad boy. But then it's interesting because he is in real poverty and has this like strange kind of family setup with the uncle and the mom and who I love to see, the nanny. So
Fran Drescher, yeah.
You do feel for him as well, like he's really up against it and like he's really broke.
No, but I'm sorry, I actually don't feel for him.
I'm just saying, watching it, I had conflicting feelings
I
about
didn't
it.
feel for him. I found myself rooting for him to succeed because you are in his POV the entire time and you just can't help it because that's the environment you're surrounded in. But if you stop and think about it, at any point, he is given an out. He's given so many outs in this movie. We'll talk about it in Spoiler Street, but he is offered so many chances to succeed or settle or be happy, and he refutes them all.
Yeah.
For his own selfish narcissism.
And he has that thing that like any sports champion has that I don't have and can never understand, where they'll like do anything to win.
Yes.
And like I would just give up a game if the person opposite me was so good, I'd be like goodbye.
And
whereas a real professional will just keep trying, keep training, keep trying to get better.
And that's what I think is so good. I agree with you on this. What I think is so good about this film is that it is this is in many ways, despite the fact that I said earlier doesn't have a whole lot of sports in it. It is this stereotypical sports underdog story with that as you said, this determined, focused, above all, you know, will they get their victory? But it shows you the real dark side of that. It's like, what if all of that, you know, but without the, you know, yay, you did it.
And you
you
don't
know,
have all
it's
the
like,
trappings of the sport, because what's fascinating is now, of course, like anyone in a professional sport like has a lot of support around them. And I think it's so interesting that both Safdie brothers have picked kind of sports when they were burgeoning. Like, so this guy's done ping pong in like 1950 whatever, and then the other guy did like the very
UFC.
beginning of Ultimate Fighting. That's mad that they've both done that, and they both were in Japan, right? Both films. And both around how people back then had no money and no support, right? Whereas like now we know, of course, people have a lot. Like the only time I've ever seen ping pong depicted in a movie outside of this was Forrest Gump that I can remember. Like this is quite an obscure.
I found the
movie
ping
sport.
pong scenes were excellent.
I loved the ping pong scenes, but I think it's
Like-
fascinating they've both done that. But like I would say, like this doesn't appear to be based on anything real, where the smashing machine was.
Well, no,
But
I
the-
just looked it up on Wikipedia. There, it is loosely based on the life of a real ping pong player called Marty.
Oh,
something.
really?
Yeah, who was a champion ping pong player in the 50s. But it is this is 99% fiction apparently.
I would imagine so,
yeah.
given the extent of the shenanigans of this film. But the Smashing Machine, like, overall doesn't work for me really at all as a film, and I found it largely quite dull and almost like kind of TV movie level. Whereas this, I feel like, is one of the best and freshest films I've
Oh my
seen
god,
in ages.
it's so kinetic.
Yeah.
And do you know what was awesome was the score.
Oh, the music was incredible.
It's like it kind of has this. It's got a lot of 80s tracks in it, like Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and it has
didn't
this
like that.
awesome synth score, which I'm
I
going
didn't
to
like
go
the
back
use
and
of
listen
80s.
to.
I think if your movie's set in the 50s, you're not allowed
I
to
knew
use 80s
you were going to
music.
say that. I was sitting there in the cinema, and I was either waiting for you to whisper it to me or for you to say it later, because
But
I
the
know you
score,
hate that,
the
and I
use
think it's cool.
of music in every scene to drive tension or excitement or despair is like second to none.
Yeah.
Like thrilling, like particularly during some of the table tennis matches. I don't like Marty's how he deals with women at all. We'll get into that in
No, he's
spoilers
an
as
awful
well.
prick.
He's repulsive. I think we should go to spoilers in this because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but I like hugely recommend it. I think it's an absolute cracker, and I really do think he's deserving of all the accolades.
I'd
he's
recommend
getting.
this to anyone, and
Yeah.
I actually think it's got something to say, which I'll talk about in Spoiler Street. Right, so you might hear a little bit of an ad here, and we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so full spoilers now for the film Marty Supreme. Firstly, what what was with your man saying he was a vampire?
I was so confused by that scene.
Is
I
that-
loved him though, that actor.
Because he said it so seriously that I was like, wait, what? Is he?
I don't know
Is
what.
he a vampire? What's he saying?
I truly didn't get that. But like, how often? So this man, like, his son died in World War II, and how often Marty is like awful about that.
I know.
Like that's like he does some really
Like when
shocking
Marty
stuff.
got that spanking, I was rooting for the other guy.
the
Like
spanking
spank
was
this
mad.
bad boy.
All the stuff with him and Gwyneth Paltrow was really good. Like
Yes.
I found him the early seduction of her when he's in the hotel
apple.
and the apple and the like staying in the Ritz when he's no money, the audacity of it all, and then for him to say, "I'm gonna buy your dinner over at your table" when he's
So
got
good.
like no money.
Like that's what you like. He's such a delight to watch.
Yeah.
If you were around him in real life, he'd be a disaster.
he
but
would
like
be a car crash. Like his actual friend, the cab driver, is like he
re-
fucks him over
he fu-
all the time.
Exactly. He's
Yeah.
just ruining people's lives left, right,
Yeah.
and center. But like just to
highly
watch the
entertaining.
audacity of somebody to do this
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Like
with
after
nothing.
he left the Ritz, I was like, wait, how is he paying for that? And then obviously that
He's
comes
not.
back later. Where the shenanigans, like him and his friend doing the hustler scenes, I love that. Like there was so much fun to be had.
Yeah.
But then there was like the darkness of him and his kind of, I guess, for want of a better word, like high school sweetheart, his neighbor. Like that was all horrific how he was treating her. Like
Yeah.
really, really grim. And I found that hard. Like in the end, there's kind of some implication that like there's a bit of a I love you and he's in their lives.
I don't
But
like the ending, by the way.
I don't think that's.
I don't think it was earned. I mean the
But I
very
think it's
very
just-
end, the little epilogue thing where I thought that was not
What do you
earned.
mean epilogue? Him and the baby.
Him going back on the plane, realizing the defeat was hollow, and then
No,
trying to become a family
That's not
man.
what I'm saying.
I thought
just
that was
think,
completely
this is-
unearned.
but
Go
I
on.
think this is a moment in time for men like that, and there are very, very, very many men who've abandoned their wives and partners and families, and they might come in and take glory around moments like births or birthdays or whatever, but he'll fuck off again. Like he's
Oh,
not
yeah,
hanging
yeah.
around.
No, I think
like,
so.
and I don't
Yeah.
think the film's telling us that he's suddenly going to be a good partner. I think it's the film telling us that he just wants to sweep in dramatically, be part of a big moment,
just-
and then he'll be on to the next thing and hustling, and he'll be with someone else. And
I just think the film should have ended in Japan with his hollow victory and let his face kind of sink. and let that sink in. Let what the guy said to him, the vampire said,
That's so weird.
said like this isn't what you want. This whatever he said, which was very eloquently.
I mean, when
put.
we
You'll
found
be
out,
chasing
like-
this forever.
Like the whole film, like, you know, for the second half of the film, he's trying to get to Japan, and he gets there, and he's doing the thing and everything, and then when your man says to him, "Oh, you can't compete," that was actually devastating.
Yeah,
like,
it was. I felt
like
it.
Timothy
Yeah.
Chalamet's face.
Yeah.
That guy, that.
Oh, he sold it.
And of course, your man's like, "You can't stay. There was a fine, and you never paid it. Like, you're
Yeah.
not entered."
And
like,
also they've seeded the competition.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I
It's
just
like-
really
but,
enjoyed
like,
all that. But all that stuff was weirdly harking. Not the specifics, but the vibe of all that was really harking back to the Smashing Machine, though. Trying to get into the competition and going to Japan. I was like,
A little bit.
What are these two brainstorming together? Like,
And there was well, I won't spoil the end of the Smashing Machine. I'd like to talk a little bit about kind of. I felt like the movie was really trying to say something around America and Japan, and it felt very pointed to set it in post World War II 50s, and there's a lot of references to sort of the war and America and Japan and post war and the sort of the global layout of the land. But what I felt like the movie is like he really represents this idea of American individualism and exceptionalism.
Yeah.
Like the American dream. You can do anything if you just believe hard enough, and you go out there. And I felt
and like screw everyone else because all that matters is your own success.
exactly. Whereas the Japanese guy, when I thought when they did that little news footage back to his upbringing, and it was like he was deaf because of the bomb that the US dropped on them.
Yeah.
And he came home a hero and united the nation. And
But he's still just like a humble tradesman.
and he's
or
such
whatever.
he's just a nice little humble guy, and this asshole comes in, and it was so important to them. I actually found it devastating to watch the sadness on all of the Japanese audience's face when their hero was destroyed by this prick. And then also, did you notice everyone in the audience who was American was in the military?
Yeah.
Which is, I think, this is when it all started to come home for
Well,
me. I
that's
think
what
the
the
movie
only
was
reason
trying
they
to land.
beat there though in the 50s. Though,
Of course,
right?
literally, that's what it is. But what's the movie trying to say? The U.S. military came in and destroyed Japan. Now I know it was like there was a lot of atrocities on both sides, but like they dropped a bomb on that country, and then this guy just steamrolls in with his bullshit American.
And that's why the Pen guy was
exceptionalism.
like, "You have to lose." Like that was like
Yeah, I know.
why he had to lose. But I do think that the the hollow win and all that, it's exceptionally hollow because sure, your man Endo's just fought against he's just played 25 if not 50 table tennis matches, and Marty's come in and played one. So already one of them's been playing ping pong for like 3 hours and one of them hasn't.
Oh, of course, I never
Like,
thought of that.
it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just
So it's
like,
not even a fair
He was
fight, is it?
exhausted.
Yeah. He looked exhausted.
But
as well.
I think it was really fun. But the film, as you say, because he's our protagonist, it makes me root for him. But I actually kind of wasn't rooting for him.
No, I really when he went
I
home
wanted
and
him to get his
looked at the baby and had the biggest smile. I mean, I don't think. I know. I agree. If you think about what happens after the movie, I don't think this guy's going to
he's
have
not
a good
hanging around
life.
for 2 weeks.
No, of course, but we
Yeah.
have to judge the movie on the beginning, the middle, and the end. And the movie is very pointedly giving him the light bulb moment, giving the character the light bulb moment of what matters. And it seems to be indicating that in this end of this film, he's going back and he's figured out that love and community is where it's at. And I just found that
I didn't take that.
ham-fisted. And I didn't want that for this prick.
I didn't
I
take that
wanted
from
him.
the film, though.
Oh,
I
did
really
you not?
didn't.
Okay.
I just took it
okay.
as well, the match is over now. He's been offered a free ride home. He takes it. Well, sure, what else is he going to do? Only go and check on her in the hospital. That's...
But
that's
why
just
not
the
end the
next-
movie a little bit earlier and have him have the get a spanking again when you realize that you have a hollow defeat and everything you fought for and sacrificed and hurt people around you was pointless and hollow
because narcissists
it's
don't
not
learn.
the things that.
But narcissists don't learn, though. He goes home and gets to be
But that's
the
my
hero.
point. I'm reading it very differently to you because I think he did learn. I think that's what
Nah. He
that,
goes
the
home, he gets to
vampire
be
gave him the
hero.
speech.
No, he goes
and-
home. He gets to be, in his own mind, quote unquote hero. Show up in the emergency room, despite that he left his literal bleeding out gunshot girlfriend, which is so dark, in a hospital on her own.
Yes, agreed.
And then he comes back and he's like, I love you, don't worry, I'm here now. And he thinks he's come in and he's kind of riding in on this glory. And then in like 2 weeks' time, he'd be gone off hustling somewhere else.
But-
so I never took it as anything
but I
final.
agree. But I agree with you that is the correct trajectory of that story. But that's not what the movie showed us. That's not how the movie ended. You have to take what is the full stop that the
full
Safdie
stop for me
brother
is, like, in the
chose to put on this movie.
The
It
full
was
stop-
him smiling down at his baby.
He was actually
in
bawling.
in
He
a
wasn't
light
smiling.
bulb moment, smiling and bawling.
He wasn't
in this
smiling.
light bulb
And
moment.
also, my main light bulb moment was, oh my god, in the 50s, they took all these babies off their mothers and just had them all in a room crying,
Yeah, but
which is
that's-
so dark. But he was crying at the end. I don't think it was a happy ending.
Oh,
at
interesting.
all.
So you
Yeah.
think he was crying as if like, this is not what I want,
Yeah,
and I'm stuck here
he
now.
was literally like, don't pin me down. I don't want to be pinned down. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want the baby. Like, I love when he's like,
Oh,
it's
okay.
biologically impossible that could be my child.
That's an interesting read.
Yeah. Anyway, I'd be interested to hear what our listeners think of it. But I had such a blast. Honestly, it's so cinematic. The score was so
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
it was
looked-
like
it looks the
frenetic.
business.
He's just a ball of energy from like beginning to end. I just think he was amazing in it, and like the cast, like the whole cast was brilliant.
What I was talking about earlier, where you like, where you said you were kind of felt bad for him because he's an underdog and you feel sorry for him. The thing I was referencing was his uncle is trying to help him.
I'm turning on the car because it's
It's
freezing.
cold. Yeah, his uncle is trying to help him consistently.
No, he's not.
He is. He's like
His uncle owes him a wage and doesn't pay it to him.
No, but his uncle's trying to give him a job. He's trying to help him. So when you're saying like it's like he's stuck in poverty and doesn't have a way out, that's not true. Also,
I didn't say he's stuck in
Gwyneth
poverty and
Paltrow's
doesn't have a way
husband
out.
said
I'm just
well,
I
you
said
were,
he had a
you were
hard
saying you
upbringing.
felt bad for him
Yeah,
because
because he worked his job to earn money, and then the uncle didn't pay him.
okay, well
that's really bad.
in that
like,
exact instance perhaps, but like he was offered money for the exhibition match, and
Mm-hmm.
not only did he say no, I mean he can have his own principles in that, but he like
he was so rude about
humiliated
it.
the guy
Yeah.
and was so rude and
But
said
then
about
where
his
did-
son.
And then
So-
where did all his money that he got from the Harlem Globetrotters? I think his uncle nicked that back out of his bag. So like that's
Probably, yeah,
pretty
yeah,
bad. Like, and the uncle had originally owed him the 700 quid to begin with, and then he stole the money back off
Okay,
him.
well, if you're going to extrapolate the film out past the end of the film, then I'm going to go backwards. What's he done to that uncle?
Well, they said
right?
that the
Yeah.
uncle said, "I've bailed you out so many
Exactly.
times." Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I've no
Yeah.
sympathy for
Oh, he's
Marty.
terrible, and his
None.
poor friend, the cab driver. Like, but there, I love the scene when they get the hostel and they're both dancing alongside the car as it was moving.
But
That was so cool.
That's the thing. We see this person a lot, and we've seen it in real life. This charming narcissist who
Mm-hmm.
people get sucked into their orbits, and they're kind of intoxicating.
Yeah.
And you see the effect that he's had on Rachel,
Mm-hmm.
and it's entirely negative.
Yeah.
And she starts to mimic his own behavior.
Yeah.
She lies about lying about the bruise was her learning his tactics.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
like he
trying
does
to-
it. Like it frustrated me so much that he was like so judgmental of her about it. And
I
it's
know,
like, well,
right?
look
That's
what you've been
exactly.
up to.
How
yeah.
often have you been lying
And
to
she
her?
knew like she couldn't get your attention any other way. So yeah. What about the scene of the guy in Auschwitz who covers himself in honey?
Oh my God! Yeah,
That
what a
was
little
mad.
what a little like side
That
detail. That was awesome.
Mad. I wonder if that's, and it could be based on something true because it was kind of stranger than fiction. Just the scene of everyone licking him, I was suddenly like, what am
There
I
was
looking
so
at?
much. This script and this movie is so rich with details, and like everyone felt like a full, interesting,
Yeah, it
real
was
person
so
with
good.
fascinating
I
backstories.
could talk about it all
And you-
night, but I really want to
yeah,
get
sorry.
going and not sit in this car
It is
outside
cold.
the cinema like a total
It was
creep.
great. It was
I'm
a
actually
great.
gonna start
You're
driving
dead right. It was cinematic. It was a great trip to the cinema.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I loved it too.
Would love to hear what you all think. Let us know at the Cinemile on Instagram and Letterboxd,
Mm-hmm.
and you can message us. You can email us thecinemile@gmail.com. Let us know
Yeah.
your thoughts on Marty Supreme.
And what you thought about the ending, because obviously we had quite different thoughts. And-
Yes, keen to
yeah.
hear what you think. And also join our Patreon if you do want to chat to us on the regular, because we're in there every day chatting to our patrons about TV, movies,
We've
Books,
just recorded an episode
video
where
games.
we've just recorded an episode where we've been talking about lots of new TV shows, including Heated Rivalry and
Yes.
The Hunting Wives. So lots of TV to talk about at the moment as well, and we've been catching up on some of that stuff.
So
see
head
ya.
on, join us at patreon.com/the cinema, and we'll keep the spoiler chat going about Marty Supreme in there. I think we'll set one up. Thanks for listening. Bye.